tonight's second game, again between the McBain Ramblers and your own Evart Wildcats. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that if you are able to please rise, remove your hats, place your right hand over your heart as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Josh Odenma, sophomore, number 2, guard.
Colton Haverkamp, junior, 3, guard.
Drew Hamilton, junior, number 5, forward.
Grayson Guernsey, junior, number 10, center.
Brenton Brunick, junior, number 12, forward.
Brett Ewing, senior, 20, forward.
Clayton Hooker, sophomore, number 22, center.
Aiden Cucci, senior, number 24, shooting guard.
Skylar Franklin, junior, 25, guard.
Thomas Maloney, junior, number 30, guard.
Kason Pollington, junior, number 32, guard.
Ben Rodenbaugh, senior, 34, guard.
And welcome Rambler Nation to another boys basketball game. I am Cade Weaver, and lucky guest star Bryce Acom is here with me. It's been a long time since I've also announced with him, so this will be a real treat. How you doing today, Bryce?
Good. How about yourself, Cade?
Oh, not too bad. Another night of Rambler basketball. Couldn't be any better myself. And as we're introducing the Ramblers, the starting lineup, we got number 34, Benjamin Rodenbaugh, number 22, Clayton Hooker, number 20, Brett Ealing, and number 3, Colton Haverkamp. And tonight's going to be a really good matchup, as McBain right now is first in the Highland Conference. And Evart Wildcats are just right behind them in second place. And just like the girls' game, it'll be really, really close, I do believe.
I believe that too, Cade. I think it's going to be a very physical game.
Oh, I 100% agree with you there.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a couple techs tonight.
I would not be surprised. It will be hard fought, that's for sure.
A junior, number 2, Aiden Anderson.
And as you guys can see, the student section over there providing some light as they introduce the Wildcats tonight. And the last time I was in this gym, it wasn't nearly as crowded as it is tonight. So I will say that it is a lot louder than what I've ever seen in a while.
Yeah. I do believe it's Everett's snow coming.
It is. Yep, that is. Yep.
So that might be a big cause of why so many people have showed up.
Yes. Yep.
And also it's the battle of first and second.
It is.
Your Wildcats are coached by Mr. Chris Morgan and Mr. Kevin Anderson.
What an introduction.
That was a great introduction. Kind of reminded me a little bit of Manton.
It did, yes, yeah. I did watch that a little bit, and that was pretty similar, actually.
Yeah.
So,
just without the music.
Yes, yep. And now we got Mr. Copeman talking to his teammates right before, well, players, before they start. So, and for the jump ball tonight, we will have Mr. 34, Benjamin Rodenbaugh, Mr. Birthday Boy, to set us up with the tip-off.
See if we can't get a birthday dunk.
Oh, that would be something for tonight, wouldn't it? And Morgan as well up there. Gets it. Wildcats take it first.
Jacoby White bringing up the ball across half court, guarded by Colton Haverkamp. Jacoby drives to the side, little floater up and good. Way to start the game for the Wildcats.
Making it 2-0.
Rodenbaugh brings it across half court, passes over to Cucci to the near side, Ealing to the far. Rodenbaugh pitches down to Hooker. Hooker tries to cut across. Ball is stolen or tipped away by Noah Vanderlyn. That'll be Aiden bringing it up over to Jacoby White. White loses it, gains it back. Ball's tipped by Ealing over to Vanderlyn. He had an open three, thought about it, didn't take it. Passes over to number 10. That is Johnson. Johnson drives in and misses the shot. Rodenbaugh. Haverkamp with the rebound. Rodenbaugh crossing half court. Over to Cucci. Cucci to Hooker. Hooker to Ealing. Ealing looking down to Colton, finds nothing. Over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh over to Colton. Haverkamp. Haverkamp down to Clayton. That was a good read, just a little late. Haverkamp over to Ealing. Ealing up to Haverkamp. Haverkamp to Rodenbaugh, setting up a new play. It'll be over to Cucci. Cucci will hit it over to Hooker. Hooker pump fake, hands it to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh up with a little jump shot, and that's smooth.
2-2 now as nothing but net for Rodenbaugh. Number 3 for Evart will now take it to the top of the key.
White at the top of the key, picks up his dribble, guarded by Haverkamp. Haverkamp, or White over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn goes up with a shot. It'll be an and one. That was a great drive there by Vanderlyn. Foul will be on number 24. That's Aiden Cucci, his first team first of the quarter.
And with the and one, that'll be number 4, Vanderlyn, going for 1 now. Looking to make the lead 5-2.
Misses. Ealing with a rebound over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh pushes pretty hard, slows up at about right across the half-court line. Sending up shot. He drives in, finds nothing, over to Ealing. Ealing back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh setting up another play. Gets it over to Cucci to the near side. Cucci over to Ealing. Ealing to Rodenbaugh on the far side. He tries to pass down. Ball is tipped by number 2. That is Anderson. Rebounded, or stolen, I should say, by number 10. Johnson drives down, takes a 3, no good. Passes out to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn, shot no good, rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will come up, sets up a play. Over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp tries to go up to Ealing, goes across court to Cucci. Near side, up over to Ealing. Ealing to Hooker. Hooker to Haverkamp up in the middle. Haverkamp over to Rodenbaugh near side. Brett in the corner. Dishes down to Hooker. Hooker with the spin move, goes up with shot, no good. Rebounds his own shot. Colton with a 3. Air ball over, rebounded by Johnson. Johnson gives it over to White. White passes to Anderson, over to Vanderlyn in the corner. Vanderlyn's shot is good.
What seemed to be a little back and forth there for a little while, they finally knocked down a 3. Wildcats 7, Ramblers 2.
Rodenbaugh over to Haverkamp far side, over to Cucci in the middle, to Ealing far side. Ealing wide open, deciding not to take the shot, gives it over to Hooker, over to Cucci far side. Cucci's 3 is good.
Making the score now 7-5.
Anderson gets the ball inbound, goes for a drive, blocked by the big sophomore Clayton Hooker. And then Mr. Coatman will be calling a timeout.
And now we got an instant replay here. So we got Mr. Brett Ealing passing it over to Clayton Hooker. Clayton Hooker goes all the way to Aiden Cucci. And just look at that arc on that ball, goes right into the hoop, making that 3. Very well done.
Very well done.
Well, 7-5. And it seemed like time flew by.
Yeah.
It's already 4 minutes and 27 seconds. 2-point difference in the game. And Wildcats have the lead so far.
Yeah, Ramblers, I don't like to say it, but doing their typical with a slow start.
Yep.
And I feel like they're just waking up. So I won't be surprised if we start seeing some Rambler runs here.
Yes, I will agree with you there. But I do believe we might be able to start picking it up as well. You just never know how the game is.
Yeah.
You don't know how they're feeling out there, too.
Correct. Rodenbaugh bringing it across half court for the Ramblers over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp down to Hooker. Hooker up with a shot and one.
That sophomore right there is nothing but a sophomore. He plays like a senior. Well done, Hooker, making it 7-7 now. Very well done, just putting it right up there and getting the and one.
And just like that, only a few seconds off the clock, and we already have a tied ball game. Hooker with the free throw. It's no good off the front iron, rebounded by Vanderlyn. There will be another foul called. I believe that'll be on, number 20, Ealing, with a little push, but I think he was just trying to box out.
He was, and unfortunately, fouls like that, refs are good at keeping their eyes on that, but unfortunately you get these little stupid ones when you're the player, you go, really? Did I really just do that? It's sad to see sometimes.
White driving in cross court to Anderson. Anderson pump fake, guarded hardly by Rodenbaugh. He goes down to Morgan, and Morgan does a little spin move with an easy layup.
Score now is 9-7. Rodenbaugh to bring it half court.
Guarded by Vanderlyn, over to Hooker. Hooker passes back up to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will dish over to Ealing. Ealing over to Cucci. Cucci will set up shop. Nope. Drives in, gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp down to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh with a little layup. No good. Rebounded by Hooker, and Hooker with an easy layup.
Well done, Hooker, making the tie game 9-9 now. 3 minutes and 32 seconds left.
White bringing it across half court. He drives in. He goes up with a little floater, and that's no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh pushing. Cross to near court. Sets up shop near middle court. Passes over to Haverkamp far side. Down to Hooker. Hooker guarded by White. Gives it over to cross court to Cucci. Cucci for three, and that is good.
Ramblers now taking the lead, making it 12-9.
Anderson over to White. White over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn will drive, sets up shop for a three, no good off the back iron, rebounded by Cucci. Cucci over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will be pushing, gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp gives it back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh slowing down, sets up the play, gives it over to Haverkamp far side. Up to Hooker, over to Cucci near side, dribbles over, passes over to Ealing middle of the court, over to Hooker far side. He passes all the way across court to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh pump fake. He decides to slow it down, set up a play, draws his defender to the middle of the court, and drives in with an easy left-handed layup, but he gets hacked.
And right there, it just bounced right twice on the fishbowl, almost drowning right in there. But now we got another instant replay here. And so we're going to look back at Aiden's three. So right down here, I believe that's Hooker, sees Aiden. Aiden goes right up with it, once again, knocking it right down. Right there, down there, great job by Hooker looking on the outside there to see him. Very tough angle with a player right in front of his face.
Very tough angle.
Well done.
That's just him being young and being able to know the game at a young age.
And that is exactly right. And it's a benefit, really.
Yeah. Rodenbaugh knocks down the first free throw. He's going up for a second. And that's off the front iron. It'll be rebounded by number 1, Reedy. Reedy bringing it up across half court for the Wildcats. Gives it over to number 5, Dersheed. There'll be a timeout called by the Wildcats. It'll be a half timeout called. So far, like we said, Ramblers came out of that timeout and they just started rolling.
They did, and that's the fantastic part there, because what seemed to be a little back and forth there, the Wildcats just really tried to stick their claws right into the treads of them Ramblers, but the Ramblers pulled right away, gaining a fantastic lead of 13 points.
And this is the first time all game they've had this lead so far.
And we're about to see if they can keep up with it, too. And depending on which teams coaches what they said to their players, we're going to see right now on how their play style changes.
Yeah, and Vanderlyn and Johnson are subbed out to take a break. To replace them is Reedy and Dersheed. White bringing up or getting the ball passed inbounds to him. He will drive, sets up for a little jumper. That is no good. Rebounded by Haverkamp. Haverkamp holding onto that ball, gets it over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh driving in, pulls out, goes to the far side. Screen set by Hooker. Rodenbaugh setting up shop, gives it over to Cucci. Cucci will drive in, dishes down to Hooker. Hooker using his body, gets it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp for three, and that is knocked down.
Another three, and it's for Haverkamp. 16-9 now with 1:35 left.
Reedy bringing it across half court, gives it over to White. White to Dursey. Dursey for 3, and that is no good off the front iron. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. He got up for that rebound. Gives it over to Cucci. Cucci with wide open 3, and that is money. Cucci is 3 for 3 on threes right now.
19-9.
Jacoby White bringing it across half court for the Wildcats. Setting up shot, gives it over to Reedy. Reedy guarded by Cucci. Reedy will drive in, kicks out to Dursey. Dursey for 3, off the front iron, no good. Rebounded by, that'll be Trenton Brunick. Brunick over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh bringing it across half court. He will drive in, kicks out to Cucci. Cucci back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh setting up shop at a middle court. Gives it over to Haverkamp on the far side. Over to Cucci at the middle, back to Rodenbaugh near. Rodenbaugh setting up play. Gives it over to Haverkamp. Stolen by Reedy. Reedy will drive in, and he goes up for a little jumper. No good. Rebounded by nobody, and it'll be off of Wildcats is what the refs have called. And it'll be Rambler ball. It'll be Vanderland subbing in for Morgan for the Wildcats.
And with 27 seconds left in the quarter, McBain has it, and they're up by 19, and Wildcats 9. Rodenbaugh now going to pass half court.
It'll be an illegal screen called on Trenton Brunick with about 20 seconds left on the clock. That'll be team's, I believe, third, his first. Just small mistakes like that we can't afford to have.
And once said by the Mr. Famous Koopman, small mistakes can lead to big changes in games.
Oh, yeah. White bringing the ball up. Screen set by Vanderland. He uses it, gives it over to Reedy. Reedy over to White. White goes up for a shot, and that'll be no good. Clayton Hooker with a full court heave, and I think he's trying to take the heads off of one of those people at the wall because it was nowhere near the basket.
Well, I believe he launched that, you know. He did. That's exactly what he did. He looked at the clock, 1 second left, and he chucked it. He threw up a Hail Mary prayer, and he said, well, we're just going to throw this down there. It might make it. It might not. I don't know. And unfortunately, it just wasn't as close as he was hoping for.
Correct.
And with the end of the first quarter, 19-9. What do you think of the first quarter, Bryce?
Like I said, Ramblers just needed to wake up a little bit in my eyes. And they're just starting to play their ball game. They're shutting down Hooker at the bottom, which is a big part of the Ramblers' offense. But he's doing a good job with kicking it out and moving the ball around to these three-point shooters who have been knocking down threes.
Yep.
Colton Haverkamp, I believe, has 1. And Aiden Cucci, 3 for 3. Solid start for the beginning of the game.
And Cucci's been known to have really good shots. I mean, you compare to last year, too. He did pretty good there, too.
Yeah.
Just all around, McBain has a really good starting offense here. I mean, and we all got height advantage, really. Most of our guys are all taller, above 6'3", I want to say, or close around there.
Unless I played.
Unless you played, that is true. But we'll be getting here to second quarter. Cucci gives it to Rodenbaugh.
Rodenbaugh back to Cucci on the far side. Trying to dish it to Brunick. Brunick gets it and just gives it to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh over to Haverkamp on the near side. Haverkamp trying to dish it down to Brunick. Stolen by White. White will be bringing it up. He decides to drive in on Haverkamp, and that is a good drive there by White. Way to start the second half strong for him. It'll be Rodenbaugh bringing it up across half court. Hands it off to Haverkamp. Haverkamp over to Brunick. Brunick tries to give it down to Rodenbaugh, just a little high and out of his reach.
Yep, just a miscalculated pass there. You just gotta. There's the part where you gotta start thinking with your head a little bit more. You gotta bring it in. You gotta slow things down in your mind before you start making physical decisions on the court.
Correct. White bringing the ball up. Brett Ealing subbed in for Trenton Brunick on that break. He pulls up the three-point shot off the front iron, rebounded by Dursey. Dursey gets it stolen by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh bringing it down, passes up to Haverkamp. Haverkamp up, no good. It'll be Vanderland with a block, but he smacked the backboard, and that'll be called goaltending, so therefore the basket is good. That is a big no-no in the basketball community.
It is a big no-no. As the ref walked right over, wagged his finger, said, "Nuh-uh, not in my house, not today." That'll make the Ramblers score 21-11.
White bringing it up across half court for the Wildcats. Gives it over to Dursey. Dursey up with a shot. I think it'll be an illegal screen on number. Yep. On number 4, Vanderlyn. Man, I'm good at this.
You're doing a great job. And then we got Rodenbaugh taking it back now.
He crosses half court, gives it over to Coochie. Coochie looking down low, gives it to Haverkamp. Our Hooker. Hooker goes up with a shot, and that is good.
And right down there using their power for post, Clayton Hooker gets right into his little nest like he likes to be and just lays in a nice little layup.
White with a great layup. That was impressive. Crossed the key. Rodenbaugh brings it up across half court, gives it over to Coochie. Coochie back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh setting up shop, gives it back to Coochie. Coochie over to Ealing at center court. Ealing will give it back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh deciding what to do. Cross court to Haverkamp. Haverkamp drives in. Little jumper, and that is no good. Rebounded by Hooker. Hooker goes up with a shot, and that's good.
Good recovery there by Hooker to put it right back up there. 25-13 now.
Anderson to Dursey. Dursey for 3, no good. That'll be rebounded by Jacoby White. Jacoby White's layup goes up, and it's good. That's a case of the right place at the right time for him. Rodenbaugh bringing it up across half court. Hand off to Hooker, or Haverkamp. Haverkamp to Ealing. Ealing to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh guarded by Jacoby White. He will drive in using his height advantage. That'll be a missed shot by Rodenbaugh.
Yep.
Ealing rebounds it and goes up with the easy 2-point shot. Reedy bringing it up across half court, gives it over to White. White will be deciding what to do. He will give it down to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn loses the ball a little bit, and it'll be over and back called as Vanderlyn falls on his face and hits the ball away from Jacoby White.
Jacoby White just trying to pick it up there, but really once it crossed that half-court line, there's no going back there. Now Ramblers set up shop as little Rodenbaugh comes onto the court.
I will be calling him Josh.
Josh.
Rodenbaugh, or Ben, gives it down to Hooker. Hooker goes up with a shot, and foul will be called. I believe that'll be on number 23, Ace Morgan.
You know, it's always been a privilege, I think, when you get a brother or a sister, when you join each other on the court, that's really wholesome. I mean, I'm a twin. I really wish me and my brother played sports together. We did golf. That was amazing. I did love that. And it really, when you get to play with siblings, it just makes sports much more entertaining and a lot more fun, too.
And a lot more memories and special moments created.
Exactly. And that's really what sports is all about, to make great memories, to have a good time, and overall, play something you love.
Correct. Hooker 1 for 1 on those free throws, bringing the score to 27-15. Reedy will be bringing the ball up across half court for the Wildcats. He dishes over to number 10, that's Johnson. Johnson over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn driving in, dishes down to White. White will try to look for an open player, gives it out to Reedy. Reedy for 3, and that is knocked down.
Nothing but net from a bit longer range. 18-28 now. Ramblers will take the ball back.
Rodenbaugh over to, or Ben to Hooker. Hooker back to Ben. Ben down to back to Hooker. Pump fake, up shot, and it is good. Vanderlyn went flying to the moon on that one.
And making the score 30 now. Ramblers, Wildcats 18.
White bringing the ball up for the Wildcats. He will drive in. It'll be a no-shot block call on number 20, Brett Ealing. In my opinion, from what I would see as a ref, is he got over there a little too late on that help defense and did not have his feet completely set.
Nope, and as if you were to look back at it too, he was just trying to drag his feet just to get there right in time to stop that from happening, and just was a tad too late, unfortunately.
Correct. Haverkamp in for Coochie. Reedy has the ball. He'll drive in, pulls out, gives it over to White. White guarded by Josh. Josh playing good defense on White. White will drive in. His shot is no good as he meets big, bad Ben Rodenbaugh in the paint. Passes it around. Jacoby gets it while he's on the ground and gives it over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn will go up with the shot, and that'll be no good, and it'll be off Ramblers, out of bounds. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will give it down to Josh, and Josh will go up with the shot, no good. Rebounded by Haverkamp. Haverkamp falling back, goes up with the shot, no good. Ealing gets the rebound, goes up, and it is good.
Well done there by Ealing. 32-18 now. White will take it past half court, meeting Josh Rodenbaugh.
White bringing it up deciding what to do as he is heavily guarded by Josh. Doesn't use the screen. Kicks it over to Reedy. Reedy wide open three, and that is no good. Rebounded by Josh. Gives it over to big brother Ben. Ben will drive in. Decides to set up shop at center court. Gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp gives it over to Ealing. Ealing back to Ben. Ben down to Hooker. Hooker goes up with a shot and is fouled. Shot will be no good. But that is yet another foul on the biggest man for Wildcats, Ace Morgan.
And when you're a big man making all them fouls, that's when you got to start being a little careful, because if you get taken out of the game a little too early, that could not be too good for your team there, especially as a post player. So that's when you got to really stick your arms up, keep them up there, try not to swing, and try not to shove anybody too much, really.
Correct. That is Morgan's third foul, team's third for the quarter. First shot up, no good. Coming in is Dersheed for Morgan. Hooker going up with the second shot, and that is good. Dersheed passes into Reedy. Reedy will be bringing up the ball across half court for the Wildcats. Reedy pulling up, long range three. That'll be no good. Rebounded by Ben. Ben bringing it up across half court. Gives it over Hooker. Hooker pump fake. Decides he will drive. Kicks it back out to Ben. Ben gives it to Josh. Josh to Hooker. Hooker looking, gives it over to Ealing. Ealing looking down, gives it back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will drive, and he goes up with a layup, and that is good.
Smooth as butter as Benjamin Rodenbaugh gets right in there, passing three defenders just to make that layup. Beautiful shot.
Jacoby White gets the ball stolen by Josh. Ben Rodenbaugh will be coming down court. Little jump shot, and a foul will be called. I believe that'll be on number 3, Jacoby White. That'll be his first, team fourth of the quarter. So now the Wildcats have to be a little careful here because there's still 2 minutes and 28 seconds left on the clock.
There is, and once you reach your fourth foul as a team, that's when you got to start looking at each other. Hey, let's play a little, let's play aggressive, but let's not be too aggressive here and make another foul.
Correct. It'll be Brunick coming in for Ealing. Ben missing his first free throw. Seems to be a common theme tonight. Looks like Vanderlyn will be coming in on the court for number 3, White. I think he's getting a little tired.
A little bit, yeah. He's been running all over the court. I mean, fast guy for sure.
Rodenbaugh, or Ben, up with the second shot. That is good. It'll be Anderson giving it over, or Johnson giving it over to Reedy. Reedy brings it across half court. Gives it over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn guarded by Josh. He will drive. Goes up with a little jump shot met by Clayton Hooker for the help. Haverkamp with the rebound. Gives it over to Ben. Ben passing across court to Josh. Over to Haverkamp. Back to Ben. Ben back to Josh. Josh for 3, and that is, I thought that was so in. Off the back iron. Gives it over to Vanderlyn. Or rebounded by Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn to Reedy. Reedy over to Dersheed. Dersheed off the front iron. Rebounded by Hooker. Hooker, the big man, will try to take it coast to coast. Stops for a second. Gives it over to Brunick. Brunick for a little jump shot. No good. Rebounded by Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn over to Johnson. Johnson will bring it up across half court, and he meets Hooker in the paint. Kicks out to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn gives it back to Johnson. Johnson drives in. Tipped ball by Clayton Hooker. Josh Rodenbaugh on the fast break layup, and that is good. It'll be Reedy giving it to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn back to Reedy. Reedy brings it across half court on the far side. Guarded by Haverkamp. Screen set by Vanderlyn. Gives it over to Dersheed. Dersheed drives in. Kicks it back to Johnson over to Vanderlyn in the corner. Vanderlyn shot up. No good. Rebounded by Anderson. Anderson goes up with the shot. Blocked by Ben Rodenbaugh from behind. Ben Rodenbaugh takes it over. Gives it to Josh. Josh with a little layup. No good. Rebounded by Hooker. Hooker goes up with a shot, but a travel will be called.
Unfortunately, when you get a ton of guys around here, especially 4 in that situation, Clayton's just trying to put that shot up there, but there's so many things you got to worry about. There's 4 guys right there. You're trying to get the shot up, but where's your feet in the scenario?
Correct.
It's just hard sometimes, and unfortunately got called for a travel.
Yes. White checks in the game for Reedy, gives it over. White gives it to Johnson. Johnson back to White. White gives it back to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Hooker. Gets beat to the lane a little bit. Shot up, no good. Rebounded by Hooker. He will give it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp waits for Rodenbaugh. Gives it over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh setting up shop at the center court. Gives it over to Josh. Josh to Brunick. Brunick will drive in for a shot. That'll be no good. Rebounded by Hooker. Hooker goes up with a shot. No good. Hit out of bounds by Hooker through Vanderland's hands. But it'll be Wildcat ball.
25 seconds left in the second quarter here. Ramblers 38, Wildcats 18. White now takes it back. He's going to be crossing half court here as we wind down to 20 seconds. We'll see what they got in store here.
In my opinion, take it slow, get one shot. Vanderland, 15 seconds, gives it down to White. White will drive in, shot, or no good. Gives it over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will go up, passes down to Brunick. Brunick goes up with a nice, easy shot, and that is good. 3 seconds left on the clock, gives it to Vanderland. Vanderland gives it over to Dursey. Dursey heaves up over half-court shot, and that'll be no good.
Almost
good,
that
but
was
no good.
No.
Almost doesn't cut it unless you're playing horseshoes and hand grenades.
There you go. Well, Ramblers 40, Wildcats 18. That ends the first half of this game, and what a game.
Yeah, what a game. Very physical at the beginning, but right now Ramblers are starting to take away for the lead, and it looks like nothing can stop them right now.
No, not right now. And, you know, for me as well, my hypotenuse was wrong, as they say, because I thought this was going to be a lot closer of a game, and instead the Ramblers just put the pedal to the floor, and they went.
Yeah, and the Wildcats can't seem to catch up, and it looks like, to me, that the Ramblers are a little more conditioned than the Wildcats, and the Wildcats are just heaving for air and needing air all the time and getting subbed in and out and not being able to get in a nice little groove.
And that's where you got to also remember your physicality, and you got to be smooth with the way you decide to push.
Correct.
With your entire body, really. Because, I mean, if you run too fast, you're going to drain all your energy very quickly.
Correct. Well, we'll see you at the end of the half.
Welcome to Twisted Cow, a culinary journey you won't forget. Now serving food all year round. From our signature roll and wrap to our daily special, every bite celebrates flavor and tradition. Whether you're dining in with friends or grabbing a quick bite, there's something for everyone. Look us up on any browser at Twisted Cow to see our hours, location, and number to call in and order. Or dine with us at 123 Roland Street, McBain, Michigan.
Representing the freshman class is Jet Reedy. Jet is escorted by his dad, Mark Reedy. Jet is involved in football, basketball, and baseball. His favorite class is shop with Mr. Parcell. In his free time, he enjoys working in the barn with his dad. Jet plans to work in the future. Jet Reedy. Also representing the freshman class is Quincy Gray. Quincy is escorted by her parents, Tracy and Sean Gray. She is involved in volleyball, basketball, competitive cheer, softball, and student government. Quincy's favorite class is math, and her favorite teacher is Mr. Johnson. In her free time, she enjoys playing sports. In the future, Quincy plans to go to college, get married, and have kids. Quincy Gray. Representing the sophomore class is Xander Newsome. Xander is escorted by his mom, Jenny Hopkins, and his dad, Zachary Newsome. His favorite teacher is Mr. J because after he finishes his work, they have great discussions about outdoor stuff like hunting and fishing. Xander enjoys being outdoors, working out, hanging out, playing video games with his friends and his girlfriend. He also really enjoys his quality time with his grandparents and parents. His future plans include going into either welding, mechanics, or farming, getting married, and having kids, all before he's 30. Xander Newsome. Also representing the sophomore class is Natalie Wood. Natalie is escorted by her parents, Ashley and Joseph Wood. Natalie is involved in sideline and competitive cheer. She also helps coach Pop Warner cheer. Her favorite teachers are Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Nelson. In her free time, she enjoys playing guitar, listening to music, hanging out with friends, and her boyfriend Xander. In the future, Natalie plans on going to Northern Michigan University while she works as an EMT and studies to become a pediatrician. She would also like to live in the country with lots of pets and volunteer at an animal shelter when she has time. Natalie Wood. Representing the junior class is Carter Drous. Carter is escorted by his parents, Rod and Annalie Drous. Carter is involved in NHS and part of the track team, including an invitation to compete at the national level for track. His favorite subject is history with Mr. Johnson. In his free time, he enjoys hunting and fishing. In the future, Carter plans to go to college. Carter Drous. Also representing our junior class is Kira Elder. Kira is escorted by her parents, Kelly and Craig Elder. Kira is involved in volleyball, basketball, softball, student government, NHS, and 4-H. Her favorite subject is math, and her favorite teachers are Mrs. Patty and Mr. Haynes. Her favorite activities include playing sports, hanging out with friends and family, tanning, and preparing for 4-H. In the future, Kira plans to go to Ferris State University to get her nursing degree, travel, get married, and have 3 kids. Kira Elder. And now, representing Evart High School's class of 2025 seniors, Jacoby White. Jacoby is escorted by his dad, Darmaine White, and his mom and stepdad, Carla and Andrew Holmes. Kobe is involved in basketball, football, and track. His favorite subject is gym, and his favorite person in the high school is Mrs. Meisick. In his free time, he enjoys hanging out with his friends and his girlfriend, Kyra. Kobe plans to go to college for nursing, get married, and have 3 kids. Jacoby White. Caroline Vinasci. Caroline is escorted by her parents, Brenda and Matthew Vinasci. She is involved in sideline and competitive cheer, track, and student government. She is currently the design editor for the yearbook and historian of National Honor Society, and she was also a cheer coach for Pop Warner. Caroline's favorite teachers include Mrs. Nelson, Mr. Johnson, and Miss Buckley. In her free time, she enjoys shopping and hanging out with friends. Caroline plans to go to college, get married, buy a house on the water right next to her best friend, Addie. Caroline Vinasci. Cole Staggs. Cole is escorted by his mom, Rebecca Flax, and his dad and stepmom, Casey and Nicole Staggs. Cole has played football all 4 years of high school. His favorite class is math with Mr. Marthakis. Cole enjoys lifting, playing guitar and piano, and going fishing. Cole's future plans include going into the Navy and traveling the world. He would also like to own a pirate ship and a castle with his friend, Clayton. Cole Staggs. McKenna Cass. McKenna is escorted by her parents, Ashley and Brandon Cass. McKenna is involved in sideline cheer. Her favorite class is math with Mr. Marthakis. She enjoys spending time with her family on vacation, days boating on the lake and bonfires in the evenings. After graduation, McKenna plans to attend Mid-Michigan College to obtain her nursing degree and become a NICU nurse after. She would also like to get married, buy some land to build a house, and have 2 kids. McKenna Cass. Clayton Keyser. Clayton is escorted by his parents, Charlene and Casey Keyser. Clayton is involved in student government and track and skeet shooting. He is currently the Vice President of both the National Honor Society and the class of 2025. His favorite class is also Math with Mr. Marthakis. In his free time, he enjoys hunting, fishing, and more fishing. After graduation, Clayton plans to go to GVSU for his bachelor's degree and then attend University of Michigan Medical School and become a surgeon. He then plans to find a wife and have kids. He would also like to own a pirate ship and castle with his friend Cole. Clayton Keyser. Layla Walters. Layla is escorted by her mom Jillian Carmichael and dad Adam Rakoff. Layla is involved in sideline and competitive cheer and has been in dance for 12 years. Her favorite teacher is Mrs. Nelson. Layla enjoys going to the beach and hanging out with friends and family during her free time. After graduation, Layla would like to go to college to be an OB, move somewhere warm, get married, and have kids. Layla Walters. At this time, please welcome back the 2024 Snowcoming King, Jonathan Gilbert, and Queen Caitlin Goslin to help crown this year's new King and Queen. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Your Snowcoming 2025 King is Cole Stats. And your Snowcoming 2025 Queen is McKenna Cass. Thank you so much for everybody who helped make Snowcoming a really great week for all of our Evart High School students here. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
And welcome back, Rambler Nation. We are back from halftime. Ramblers 40, Wildcats 18. And I'm joined back here with Bryce Acom once again. And we're going to have Mr. White, number 3 for the Wildcats, take it out.
Gives it over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn back to White. White over to Johnson. Johnson drives in. Kicks over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn drives in. Hop, step, and layup is good. Rodenball bringing up the ball across half court. Gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp to Coochie. Coochie back to Rodenball. Rodenball looking around, gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp back to Coochie. Coochie bounce pass over to Rodenball. Rodenball setting up another play gives it over to Coochie. Coochie for 3, and that is off the front iron, rebounded by White. White will be bringing the ball up across half court for the Wildcats. He decides to drive, step back, nothing. Gives it over to Johnson. Johnson kicks it down to Morgan. Morgan goes up with a shot, and that is no good. It'll be rebounded by Brett Ealing. Ealing gives it over to Rodenball. Rodenball looking up, pressuring on the Wildcats. Decides to pull out. Gives it a new play call by Coatman. It'll be Rodenball to Coochie. Coochie to Ealing. Ealing back to Rodenball. Rodenball over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp looking down low for the sophomore. Nothing. Gives it back to Coochie. Coochie dribbling over. Bounce pass over to Rodenball. Rodenball setting up. Shot guarded by Vanderlyn. Gives it over to Haverkamp. Back up to Rodenball. And he will set up shop on the three-point line. And that shot's off the back iron. Rebounded by really nobody. Ealing tipped it one way and then tried to get back as fast as possible to that ball, but it did not end well. White bringing it across half court for the Wildcats. Three-point shot up and no good. Rebounded by Hooker. Hooker gives it over to Rodenball. Rodenball bringing the ball up across half court. He walks across half court, gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp down to Hooker. Hooker decides to face his opponent. Spin move, goes up for a shot, and it is good. That was a tough shot.
That was, especially with how many people were on top of him. And I mean, he was still able to get it off through all them hands. Well done to Clayton Hooker.
Anderson bringing up the ball, guarded by Rodenball. Rodenball steals it. Fast court, gives it over to Coochie. Coochie two-steps it. Layup is no good. Rebounded by nobody. It'll be over the back on Clayton Hooker. I believe it's his first. His first team first of the quarter.
And, you know, Clayton, it kind of reminded me of a cat looking at a string they're playing with it, just trying to grab the ball, and he just can't quite get it. And unfortunately, with the over the back, you know, that's something when I used to play back in, middle school. We're talking a while ago, and, I wasn't that good. But oftentimes I'd reach over people's backs, and I'd be like, oh, what? That shouldn't count. But it does. And unfortunately, Clayton Hooker got that call called on him. Ramblers 42 now, and the Wildcats 20. Right out of the locker room, Wildcats scoring first. What was looking to be promising, the Ramblers answered right back and said, nah, we're going to start scoring here too, and that's exactly what they did, keeping the lead up. 42-20. How do you think the rest of the quarter is going to go, Bryce?
I think this talk by Coatman will set the Ramblers into the mood they need to be in. And also, I think they are going to just set the pace for the rest of the quarter. Sorry, I got distracted by Mr. Hamlet cleaning up some water.
No, you're okay. I 100% agree with you there. But, yeah, no, I think exactly Mr. Coatman has very wise advice. I mean, he's had years of experience with this, and I'd be honored to have a coach like him. And I'm pretty sure what he's telling his players now is, all right, we got the lead. Let's start setting the pace of the game, and let's just keep our momentum going and keep going.
Correct.
Making sure they can't get any comebacks.
Correct. White brings the ball across half court, gives it to Anderson. Anderson guarded by Rodenball. Bounce pass tried to go to Johnson, but Brett Ealing with his quick hands knocks it out of bounds before it can get there.
That was a good job there by Brett Ealing, hoping to pull it in, but unfortunately he did not, but well done stopping the pass.
Johnson passing into Anderson, and right through his hands, almost back across half court, but he stops it and gets control. Anderson, guarded by Rodenball. He will drive in, tries to dish over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn somehow gets the ball blocked by Coochie. He gets his own rebound, gives it over to White. It'll be pass intercepted by Haverkamp. Haverkamp goes up for a shot, and that is good. Ben Rodenball soared to try and get that putback.
He did.
I think he came from the free throw line on that one.
He's got hops. He does.
White bringing it across half court for the Wildcats. Letting his teammates work. He gives it, he gives it to Anderson. Anderson goes up with a shot, and it's blocked by Rodenbaugh from behind. There will be a warning called on the Wildcats coach, and that ref is not having it right now.
And right now we got an instant replay. Right here we have White looking to pass it. Oh, wrong one there. He gives it right down here, and Ben just absolutely takes the ball from behind and steals it and runs right back up the court with it. I mean, well done there, and very well. Ben could have got a behind the back there, but he kept his one hand right on the ball, and right there's good eye coordination right there.
Correct. There'll be one warning on the Wildcats coach, so nothing will happen there. Rodenbaugh brings it across half court, gives it to Cucci. Cucci over to Ealing. Ealing back to Rodenbaugh on the far side. Johnson putting his shoulder into Rodenbaugh, but nothing being called. There'll finally be a foul called on number 23, Morgan. That is his 4th foul, team first of the quarter.
He's really got to start being careful here, especially if he comes back in and makes one more. He's done for the game.
Correct. Dershey comes in. Sorry.
Oh, you're okay. He did come in, didn't he?
Yeah.
He is in now, and it is 3rd quarter. We are off to 4 minutes, 38 seconds. Ben at the top of the key to Aiden.
Aiden gives it back over to Ben. Ben setting up shop, gives it over to Cucci. Cucci over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp to Hooker. Hooker gives it all the way across court to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh fake jab step, nothing. Guarded by White. He makes White miss. There will be a flop call almost on Vanderland. He gives it over. Rodenbaugh gives it to Cucci. Cucci goes up with a shot, and it'll be a foul called on Hooker, even though he was driven back about 10 yards.
Yeah, right there. It's kind of hard. Clayton's just trying to go right up for that rebound, but unfortunately, the player right in front of him ran right back into him, which caused him to get the over-the-back call.
His team second of the quarter. White bringing it across half court. Your score is 44-20, McBain Ramblers. Foul will be called. Maybe a foul being called?
I don't know what happened there.
I don't either. Refs are discussing it, and teams are back in huddles talking to their coaches. Refs covering their mouths, so I can't read their words, sadly.
I think they do that for a reason, unfortunately.
Unfortunately. I would like to know what's being talked about.
I don't know. I don't know if words were said down there under the hoop or what was going on or something illegal happened there. But we shall see here in a couple minutes once the refs are done finished talking.
Correct. But there was a foul going to be called. White, too, with a flagrant foul with a push. He's questioning it. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a T here. It'll be Ben Rodenbaugh shooting it. But Ben did kind of go flying on that one.
He did a little bit.
There was no question.
He was ready to go, and I think number 2 there, that would have been Anderson. He was just trying to catch right back up with him. And keeping up with Ben Rodenbaugh is a challenge. He is a fast man.
And he is strong and tough. So the way he flew, you knew he got pushed pretty hard on that one.
Oh, yeah.
First shot up and good.
It is good. And 45-20 now, and we're going to see if Ben will make it 46.
Second shot up and good. Smooth like butter.
Like butter. And now it'll be Rambler ball underneath with Cucci taking it out, and he's going to hand it right off to Mr. Rodenbaugh. And we will see where we end up going from here.
Correct. Rodenbaugh. He's going to be guarded by Johnson starting at half court. Rodenbaugh kicks it over to Cucci. Cucci decides to bounce pass it back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will drive in. He gets a little floater shot. No good. Rebounded by Hooker. And that'll be a foul call on Johnson. Maybe a little bit of an intentional flagrant. He kind of socked him in the face, in my opinion. But number 10, Johnson with his second foul, team third foul of the quarter.
Trying to go down. He was trying to fight for that rebound with Clayton Hooker, and unfortunately when he came down with his one arm really hard, it did knock Clayton right in the shoulder. I mean, that was a hard come down. Now, it does get aggressive. This sport is very aggressive.
Correct.
But you got to watch what you do out there. I mean, you could potentially really hurt somebody.
Correct. Number 10's trying to think of words to say to the ref, but decides not to be stupid.
That is a wise decision.
Hooker up with the second shot, and it is up and good.
White now crossing half court. He's going to meet Mr. Haverkamp.
White drives in, kicks over to Anderson. Anderson drives in, goes up with a shot. No good. Rebounded. It'll be a foul call. I believe that'll be on Ealing. 34, Ben Rodenbaugh. That'll be his first foul of the game, team's third. It'll be Wildcat ball under their own hoop. Johnson passing it in, gives it all the way up to Dersheed. Dersheed guarded by Ealing, gives it back to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Johnson goes up with a shot. It'll be a foul called on number 34, Ben Rodenbaugh, his second, team fourth. Now the Ramblers got to be careful for this quarter.
A little bit now. I know they're trying to make sure that the Wildcats aren't going to be able to come back, but you got to watch them little fouls here and there. And unfortunately, Ben was just trying to block it. And just a little tad slow there, unfortunately, and causes the foul.
Correct. First shot up and good.
And now he's going to be going for his second. Taking a breath, think about it, take his time.
Up and no good. Tipped by Hooker. Cucci with the rebound gives it over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will bring the ball up across half court now. Gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp looking, gives it to Hooker. Hooker sets up for three, no good. Rebound, or passes over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh goes up with a shot. It'll be no good because it hit the wire. But if it didn't hit the wire, it would have been a made three.
Yeah, it would have been, and that would have been pretty cool to see.
It would have been. So it'll be Johnson passing into White. White will be bringing it up for Wildcats, gives it over to Reedy, who just checked in. Reedy will drive in, goes up for a shot. No good, rebounded by Ealing. Ealing gives it over to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh bringing it up across half court for the Ramblers. He will drive in, kicks over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp with a wide open three, and it is no good, rebounded by White. White decides to slow down a little bit because he lost control of the ball. Brings it across half court. He will drive in on Ben Rodenbaugh. Goes up for a shot, and it is blocked by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh. And it'll be a technical on the coaching staff. Well, there's the first technical of the game. White is talking to Mr. Corliss, who is the referee that called the technical. It'll be number 34, Ben Rodenbaugh, shooting two shots. Mr. Coatman, I can't imagine just laughing in his head. First shot up, no good. Now he's not laughing.
No.
Second shot up and
there you
good.
Go. Birthday boy makes his second free throw, making the score a solid 49. Wildcats 21. And with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the third quarter, I mean, this game, it feels like it's kind of slowed down a little bit, in my opinion. I mean, it's not as fast-paced as it was. I mean, they're still playing fast, but with the huge deficit there is, I feel like the morale of the Wildcats has gone down a little bit.
Correct. It'll be Ben passing into Hooker, and Hooker goes up with a two-point shot, and it is good. Josh and Trenton Brunick checking into the game for Cucci and Ealing. It'll be White giving it over to Reedy. Reedy will drive in, meets Clayton Hooker in the lane, decides to not go in and shoot a floater. It'll be Hooker with the rebound. He's looking, gives it over to Haverkamp, but not before he gets that second foot down, and it'll be a travel call.
And now the Wildcats will take ownership underneath the Ramblers basket, as number 10 will take it out, looking for an open Wildcat.
That's Johnson passing in. Almost the 5 second, gives it over to Vanderlyn, though. Vanderlyn shoots the three, and it is no good. Rebounded by Hooker. Hooker giving it over to Ben. Ben brings it up across half court just about now. Gives it over to Haverkamp. Haverkamp down to Hooker. Hooker spin move facing his defender up with a little jump shot. No good. Rebounded by Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn will hold on and not get the ball stolen. Gives it over to White. White brings it across half court. Gives it back to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn with a full head of steam. Tries to get it to Derseed. Derseed. The pass will be intercepted by Haverkamp. Haverkamp can't hold on to the ball and it'll be knocked out of bounds.
And now number 10 underneath. Oh.
That'll be a foul called on number 22, Clayton Hooker. So I believe we are going to be shooting 2. Refs are talking out the call.
And they're going to give him free throws, I think. Yep, that's exactly what they're going to be doing. And now Darson will be going at the free throw line, shooting for 2.
Darson. Derseed.
I was calling him his first name.
Oh, my fault.
Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I should really stick to the last name. I didn't want to mispronounce his name, and I feel bad if I do that. So
I just say if you stick with it, go with it.
Oh, there you go. And he makes his second, making the score 23-51.
Tries to give it down to Josh, intercepted by Derseed. Derseed gives it over to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn will drive into the paint, and it'll be out of bounds, and it'll be McBain ball.
Unfortunately, trying to drive right in there does end up stumbling right over his own feet, and that will go out on the Wildcats as Josh Rodenbaugh and Big Ben Rodenbaugh will take the ball.
Rodenbaugh or Ben bringing it up across half court. Foul will be called on number 10. A lot of booing from the Evart crowd there. He will be shooting 2, Rodenbaugh. A lot of Wildcats not agreeing with that call there.
No, unfortunately not. But we do got to remember the refs do see things and know a lot more than the crowd might know.
They're a lot closer to the action.
Oh, yeah. And even up here, we've seen things that we thought were something else before and mistake it.
Correct.
Where they actually know what happened.
Correct. Rodenbaugh 1 for 1 on his free throws. Vanderlyn passing into Reedy. Reedy will bring the ball up across half court for the Wildcats. He will drive in, and he gets an easy 2-point shot, and that is good. Trent Brunick gives it over to Ben. Ben will push down court. Sees Josh. Josh gives it up to Haverkamp. Haverkamp will try to drive, but a foul will be called on number 3. That is Jacoby White. And I believe Haverkamp will be shooting 2. So this booing, in my opinion, is not helping the Wildcats with calls at all. And also the technical called on the coach is another thing that is not helping.
Yeah, that is not at all.
Not going in their favor.
Colton makes his first. Now he'll be looking for second as we get a sub. Clayton Hooker comes out, and number 5, I believe,
Drew Hamilton.
Drew Hamilton's back in.
Second shot up and money.
Money.
Vanderlyn gives it over to Derseed. Derseed all the way down court to Reedy. Reedy will drive into that middle again. And the ball will be intercepted by Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh will have a foul, flagrant foul on number 5. You can't tackle in basketball, mister.
No, you cannot. And Ben just keeping his feet. Well done keeping his feet, because if he would have taken a nasty fall there, that wouldn't have been too good, especially going at that speed.
Correct.
That's the thing about if you can run pretty fast, you really think, oh, I'm fast. But if you take a tumble, it's
a lot of momentum.
Yes, and you come down hard.
Rodenbaugh's first shot up, no good. But I think the coach is talking to the players because they are getting a little chippy, which might not turn out to be their favor here soon. Rodenbaugh, second shot up, or Ben, second shot up and good. Sorry, I forget Josh is in.
No, it's okay. Big Ben.
Roethlisberger. Nope, it's Rodenbaugh. Both last names start with an R, though. That's pretty cool.
Mr. Birthday Boy takes it under the hoop.
Gives it all the way up to Brunick. Brunick dribbles, gives it back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh down to Brunick. Brunick tries to dish it over to Hamilton. The ball will be tipped out of bounds by Jacoby White. Runs into Josh. Surprised that's not a foul. But again, refs have a better view at things than we do.
Yep. And Birthday Boy back under again, looking for an open Rambler. Finds one. His brother goes back to Trenton Brunick. Brunick goes up for 2 and makes it.
That's pretty good play there by the Ramblers. It'll be Reedy bringing it up across half court. He gives over to Dershid. Dershid will drive down, pass down to Johnson. And the shot is blocked by Hamilton. Rodenbaugh brings it up across half court, decides to pass down to Brunick, who's wide open. He pump fakes, goes up with a shot, no good. Rebounds by himself, goes up with another shot and gets it good. He just wanted a rebound stat on the books for him. It'll be White bringing it up across half court for the Wildcats.
And now 59-25, White looking for a lane, not there.
Yep, Trenton Brunick leaned into that one.
Got to keep your feet, buddy. That's the hard part, especially when he's coming in. White and Rodenbaugh are about similar in speed. And when they're charging right at you, it's really hard to keep your feet. And unfortunately, it's pretty easy to get one of them called on you.
Correct. White's first shot up and no good. He will be shooting one more. Your score will be 25 Wildcats, 59 Ramblers with 21.1 seconds left on the clock. Second shot up and good. It'll be Rodenbaugh bringing it out of bounds. Gives it over to Brunick. Brunick gives it back to Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh with 15 seconds on the clock gives it over the half-court line. Foul will be called on number 10 again. That'll be Johnson.
How many does he have now?
I think that maybe his third or fourth. So we have multiple Wildcats with 4 fouls. We might seeing some bench players coming in here soon. Anderson will be checking in for him, I can only imagine, as he heads to the table. Rodenbaugh shooting some more free throws. First shot up, no good. Anderson coming in for Johnson. Johnson a little mad, but he only did it to himself, so he can't be mad at anybody but himself. Rodenbaugh going up for his second shot. No good, rebounded by Rodenbaugh. He goes in, goes up for a little smooth jumper, and that is no good, rebounded by Brunick. Brunick passes into Josh. Josh goes up with the shot, and that is good.
What an amazing save and pass back.
That'll be the half because the clock never started on the free throw shots. But now it's pizza oven time. Let's see who will win this after our instant replay.
Yes, exactly. So I do want to point this out. So Ben comes back here. Oh, wrong thing again. My bad, ladies and gentlemen. And then Brunick right here throws it right back to Josh Rodenbaugh, who puts it right back up. I mean, fantastic job there, just saving it from going right out of bounds. I mean, that takes real athleticism right there for Brunick just to jump up in midair and to grab that and throw it right back in there.
Okay, our winning ticket, 130074.
Is that a McBain person?
Don't know. I didn't partake today.
I didn't either. I haven't been lucky in lotto tickets recently, so.
You know, when it ever comes to drawings like that, I always kind of look at them and like, what are the chances? You know, it's out there, you know, but I've never won something like that before, so.
Same, don't worry.
So looking here at the fourth quarter, Bryce, I mean, 61-26. Ramblers have a good take on the game right here. How do you think the play style will be?
I think the Everett Wildcats will be a little chippy. Their tone says that they've already lost the game as they're walking out on the court. They just look kind of defeated. And I believe the Ramblers might get a running clock because they only need 4 more points here.
Yep, that is true.
Or
yes.
5 more points, sorry.
It's 5, yep. And then, yeah, it'll be running clock as Mr. Rodenbaugh hands it in to Birthday Boy. Birthday Boy gives it to Pollington. Gives it back to Brunick. Brunick down low to Birthday Boy. Birthday Boy looking for a 2. Not there.
Rebounded by Brunick. Fighting for a rebound. A foul will be called on Brunick, I believe. Yeah, on the floor, Brunick. That'll be his 3rd team first of the quarter.
We got White now crossing half court. Pollington there to meet him at the top. Tries a 3 and drains it.
Yeah.
Nothing but net. Well done by White there.
Correct.
Really easy going 3. Walks right up there and makes it.
Rodenbaugh burning Vanderling, or Ben burning Vanderling, gives it over to Josh. Josh to Hamilton. Hamilton back to Ben. Ben looking down low. Decides to kick it up to Pollington. Pollington with an open 3 shot, and that is airballed. But we don't talk about that because that's his first warm-up shot of the game. It'll be Dershid on the floor right now. Looks like he's grabbing his knee.
He did go
land
down
pretty hard
hard
on that.
Yep, he did.
He gets up under his own power. Coach
He-
is coming out to check on him.
He did stand up. He is trying to walk. It's unfortunate to ever see a player hurt like that.
It is. But it's nice to see that he's getting off with his own free will.
Yep.
It'll be Johnson coming in for Derseed. It'll be White bringing the ball up across half court for the Wildcats. He pulls up a quick little pass to Anderson. Anderson goes up, kicks out to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn gives it back to Jacoby. Jacoby goes out, and it'll be a block call on Trenton Brunick. It looked like Jacoby landed on his head pretty bad. Nothing dirty on Brunick's part.
No.
Just wrong place at the right time. That'll be his fourth foul, though, team second of the quarter.
Yep.
As Jacoby's getting looked at.
McBain Hardware has been serving the McBain community for over 60 years. They have an expansive collection of Milwaukee tools and products. As my brother likes to say, if they don't have it, then you probably don't need it. Come down to see Tyler, Ron, or Trevor at McBain Hardware on 118th North Roland Street, McBain, Michigan, for all your everyday hardware needs.
And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, underneath McBain's hoop. And that'll be number 4. Goes for 3, no good. Bounced up in the air and out of bounds. It'll be McBain ball now.
Rambler ball. It'll be Josh passing into Ben. Ben will be taking it across half court. Gives it over to Josh. Josh looking, gives it across court to Hamilton. Hamilton dribbles, gives it to Pollington. Pollington across court to Brunick. Brunick setting up. He drives in. He goes up with a little layup, and it is no good. Rebounded by Morgan. Morgan gives it over to Reedy. Reedy all the way down court to Anderson. Anderson setting up for a deep 3, and that is off the back iron. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. It'll be a foul called on number 32, Kason Pollington. His first, team third of the quarter.
Unfortunately, there's a bit of a height disadvantage there for Kason. Kason's just trying to look for that ball right over these tall arms, and he did a pretty good job keeping up with the other Evart player there.
Thomas Maloney checking in for Big Ben Rodenbaugh. Well, Wildcats have to be careful because they have 2 players in with 4 fouls. Vanderlyn driving in. He goes in for a shot. It'll be a block call on the floor on number 32, Kason Pollington. That'll be his second, team fourth of the quarter, which is not a good sign for McBain so far.
No, nope.
Johnson passing into Anderson. Anderson will drive in, goes up for a shot. No good. Rebounded by Maloney. Maloney gives it over to Josh. Josh slows down to set up the court, or the play. Gives it over to Maloney. Maloney gives it over to Brunick. Brunick back to Josh. Josh goes up for a shot, and it is no good. Rebounded by Hamilton. Hamilton passes into Pollington. Pollington shot up, no good. Rebounded by Morgan.
That would have been a cool
gives it over to White. It would have been a really cool play. White brings it across half court. He drives in. It'll be a blocking call on number 32, Kason Pollington, and that's the team's 5th, his 3rd of the quarter.
That'll be 5 fouls for the Ramblers now, 61-29. And that puts Mr. number 3, Jacoby White, at the free throw line. Shooting for 1. Nothing but net, makes the score 30.
Ramblers really got to be careful here now. With 5 fouls, every foul is going to be a shooting foul.
Yep.
His second shot up and good. Brunick passing in to Josh. Josh taking it up for the Ramblers, gets it across half court, guarded by Vanderlyn. Gives it over to Pollington. Pollington up to Hamilton. Hamilton over to Josh. Josh looking down low for Trent Brunick, doesn't hit him. Ball stolen by Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn goes up for a shot. Tries to be a cool pass to Johnson. Johnson doesn't get the memo, gives it over to Josh. Josh will give it over to Maloney. Maloney gives it back to Josh. Josh will drive and kick to Pollington. Pollington gets it over to Brunick. Brunick back to Josh. Josh over to Maloney. Maloney back to Brunick. Brunick gives it over to Pollington. Pollington gives up his dribble, gives it to Maloney. Maloney double teamed. Foul will be called on.
Timeout.
Timeout
right
will
in time.
be called.
You see, that's where we go back to Mr. Copeman's wise and just overall amazing coaching abilities. I mean, he knew at the right time there. He's seen Tommy was in a little bit of trouble, and he knew he had a timeout in his pocket. He's like, all right, here's a good moment to call it. And gives him time to get his players together and say, all right, guys, we got 5 minutes to go. It's 61-31. Let's come together here. Let's get the right idea in our heads and what we need to do to finish out this game.
Correct. Still up by 30, so a little bit of a cushion.
Yep.
But Copeman, just like you said, trying to get the right idea into his players' heads and being able to talk them through it with all these young players out on the court.
Yep.
Pollington will be throwing the ball in for the Ramblers. We have Pollington, Maloney, Hamilton, Josh Rodenbaugh, and Brunick. Pollington to Josh. Josh down to Trenton. Trenton tries to give it over to Hamilton. Kicks out to Pollington, though. Pollington hands off to Josh. Josh will drive. Using Pollington as a screen. Gives over to Brunick. Brunick tries to go up for a shot, but it'll be a jump ball by Morgan. Morgan kind of talking to the ref. Won't be surprised if we see another technical here. The White passing into Anderson. Anderson gives it over to White. White guarded by Maloney. Little shifty move, goes to the elbow, and his shot is good. Josh passing down to Maloney. Gets there, barely. Gives it over to Pollington. Pollington back to Josh. Josh will give it back to Pollington. Pollington will drive in. Kicks it out to Brunick. Brunick takes it over and passes back up to Josh. Really hard defense being played by the Wildcats. Josh to Pollington. Pollington to Hamilton. Hamilton all the way across court to Pollington. Pollington will be called for a travel. It'll be White passing into Anderson. Anderson giving it back to White. White bringing it across half court with just under 4 minutes left in the quarter. Being a little shifty, drives and pass out to Vanderlyn. Vanderlyn goes up for a three. Air ball grabbed by Anderson. Anderson goes up with a shot, no good. It'll be tipped out of bounds by, I think that'll be Drew Hamilton.
It will be. And now the Evart Wildcats will set up shop right underneath the Rambler hoop again, and that'll be number 10, Johnson, taking it out for the Wildcats. Johnson passes it right to White. White at the top decides to take a lane wide open. Not exactly, because guess who's there?
Drew Hamilton. He knocks that out of bounds again. 3 minutes, 40 seconds left in the game. Anderson passes it, or Johnson passes into Jacoby. Jacoby drives in. It'll be called on a blocking foul. He's rolling on the floor again, but gets up under his own willpower. He's going to need an ice bath tonight.
He will. Those are nice.
He will be going to the line shooting 2. It'll be foul on number 2. That's Josh Rodenbaugh. His first team, like 8, I think.
Yep.
First shot up, no good. So that's, in my books, it's a good foul because they didn't get the same amount of points.
Correct, yes, yep. And up with a second.
And that is good. It'll be Brunick passing into Josh. Josh being full court pressed by Vanderlyn. Using his ball dribbling moves, gives it to Brunick. Brunick over to Hamilton. Hamilton gives it back to Josh. Josh back to Hamilton. Hamilton takes a dribble drive, nothing. Tries to give it to, I don't know who, but it is tipped to Jacoby White. Jacoby White goes up to Morgan. Morgan goes up with a shot, no good, rebounded by Hamilton. Hamilton gives it to Josh. Josh will bring it up across half court with just over 3 minutes and 5 seconds left in the quarter. Maloney has the ball. It'll be called a travel. It looks like number 10, Grayson Guernsey, will be checking into the game for Trenton Brunick. Also is number 21 for the Evart Wildcats will be Vindel. And also number 25, Skylar Workman. Let's see if this new squad can get anything rolling for the Ramblers.
Yep. It's a good time to get all them bench players and others, lower classmen in as well. Gives them the more playing experience of what it's kind of like to be on varsity.
Correct. Jacoby White, guarded by Josh, takes the lane, goes up for an easy layup. Josh Rodenbaugh bringing up the ball. Vanderlyn waiting at the half-court line for him. Gives it over to Skyler. Over to Hamilton. Hamilton down to Josh. Josh with an easy two. No good. Rebounded by Johnson. Johnson pushing. He will kick it. He will take it all the way himself, and that layup is good. Warning of delay of game for White. Number 11, McCoy, will be checking in for Johnson for the Wildcats. Maloney waiting to receive the ball to throw in to Josh. Guess who's waiting for him? Vanderlyn at about the free throw line.
Yep.
And he will back it up to half court, just about. Josh showing him his moves. Passes to Franklin. Franklin will go behind backcourt, and it'll be an over and back call. Taking ball out for the Wildcats is Anderson. Anderson gives it over to Jacoby. Jacoby guarded by Josh. Drives into the lane. Ball stolen. Given to Franklin. Franklin will drive. Decides to pass over to Josh. Josh will take the wide open three, and that is cash money.
Mr. Rodenbaugh with a three, making the score now 64-38. Well done with that three.
White over to Vindel. Vindel trying to get it over. Stolen by Franklin. Franklin will get the ball stolen by White. White will take the wide open three, and he misses. Rebounded. That'll be by Vanderlyn, and it'll be a jump ball call, and it'll be Rambler ball, I believe. Number 4, Noah Vanderlyn just got ejected from the game. I believe that means he's out for next game as well.
Yeah, if you get an ejection, I do believe you are out for next game as well, and he will return to the locker room now. Very unfortunate. And that's, you know, like I said, kind of goes back to the mentality and smartness, I suppose. You got to have that mental mindset. You got to keep calm in situations where if you don't agree with a call or something happens that you get really frustrated about, like another player injuring one of your teammates or something, you got to keep your cool. You got to remember that, you know, it is a game. It's not, you know, you're not fending for your life. I mean, It's a game. Yes, it matters, and it's fun. But it comes down to, at the end of the day, would you rather be ejected and miss out on the next game too, or let the call go?
Yeah. He must have had to say something pretty bad because they've been talking to the refs all night, and they haven't said a word. So, or it was the refs' last nerve, one of the two.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
But whatever it was, he's ejected, and it's over now. It'll be Maloney to Pollington. Pollington tries to get it to Guernsey. Guernsey gets the ball stolen away from him by number 30. 30 gives it to 11. That is McCoy. McCoy gives it over to Reedy. Reedy over to 0, Warren. Warren over to McCoy. McCoy gives it back to Reedy. Reedy will drive into the lane, and layup is no good. Rebounded by Guernsey. Guernsey gives it to Pollington. Minute 15 left, and Pollington brings it across half court, gives it over to Franklin. Franklin gives it over to Guernsey. Guernsey over to Hamilton. Hamilton gives it back to Franklin. Franklin gives it over to Guernsey. Guernsey tries to get it to Pollington. That'll be tipped by Smith, and it'll be out of bounds. It'll be Rambler ball.
And the go out will be Maloney. He's going to toss it right back into Pollington. And then Pollington will start to dribble right up to half court as we reach 53 seconds left in the game.
Pollington gives it over to Maloney. Maloney will try to dribble, but he is heavily guarded. I believe that is by number 21, Vindel. Gives it to Franklin. Franklin gives it over to Pollington. Pollington over to Franklin. Franklin gives it down to Guernsey. Guernsey using his post move. Passes to Case and Pollington.
That was a really good pass by Guernsey there. I know it may have not accounted, but that was a great look by him just trying to get the pass down there and successfully does it.
Correct. Something was called.
Yep.
Think a foul on number 1, Reedy. Anyway, Pollington gives it over to Franklin. Franklin goes up for a shot. No good. Rebounded by Guernsey. Guernsey goes up for a shot. No good. Rebounded by Maloney. Maloney will take it out, and he will drive in. He goes up for a shot. No good. Rebounded. It was rebounded by number 21. That is Vindel, but then it's knocked out by Hamilton. 13.3 seconds left on clock. Number 0, Warren, bringing it up across half court. Gives it over to Vindel. Vindel guarded by Hamilton. Gives it back to Warren. Warren gives it over to Smith in the corners. Smith will be, there will be a foul called by number 10, Guernsey, which was by accident.
Yep, that was a good sportsmanship, though, there shown by Guernsey, just helping him get back up. That's what you like to see in some of these high school games is the sportsmanship. And when you get good hearts out there like Grayson, he'll gladly help you up, and that's really good to see because nowadays it is kind of hard to see that sometimes.
Correct. Smith goes up for his first shot, no good. 3.1 seconds left. I think we can call it a ball game, folks. Your Ramblers 65 and your Evart Wildcats
39 now.
39, yes.
I don't know why I almost said 69.
Off
the tongue.
But that is the game. Your McBain Ramblers 65, Evart Wildcats 39. That was a really good game to watch.
It was.
Kind of chippy near the end, but other than that, just a great game to watch. And we hope to see you at the next game, folks, and have a great weekend.
Yep. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Have a wonderful night. Drive safe for all those who came, and thank you again for tuning in to Rambler Review, and thank you, L&J Meat Market, for sponsoring us once again. Have a wonderful night, folks.